right, well, let's kick it off here. Let's talk a little whiskey here with one of our favorite honorary meat dudes and fourth partner, Lady J, Miss Sara Rosales.
It's me.
So, we just did a whole podcast talking about meat and whiskey and kind of barbecue and whiskey and how they pair together. We featured these 3 amazing whiskeys that she has picked out, some of her favorites, more unique ones. We're going to blind some whiskey too and talk about how it pairs well with meat. But kicking it off, why does whiskey pair so well with barbecue?
Well, for me, it's because there's a lot of parallel flavors between the two. So with the wood notes that you get out of whiskey, like those caramels, vanillas, and toffees, and all of that stuff, I think sort of parallels with some of those flavors you're getting out of barbecue.
Totally.
Using the wood on the meat, and
Absolutely.
then you're pulling those barbecue flavors like those vanillas and sweetness.
The sweetness, the wood, the
Wood's huge too
caramelization.
because you flavor whiskeys with different staves and things to bring out different nuance, right? So you're talking about the South and post oak, mesquite, pecan. We use apple, cherry, right? All of those woods lend a different flavor to the meat as you use it, right?
Yeah.
Same kind
Absolutely.
of thing as flavoring whiskeys, right? Not that that's your favorite thing to do, but
Well, no, but American, so you have to have American oak for bourbon, but you can finish it in anything you want as long as it's been aged in American oak, American New York oak. So I have tasted whiskeys that have been mesquite aged, like
oof, that
Wow.
sounds strong.
Wild Turkey does one
Wow.
with
Yeah.
all right.
Oh, Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
My guy.
My guy.
That's why I'm doing my hair like this.
Green light. I love that guy,
Uh-huh.
man.
Anyway,
Well, let's talk about these 3 whiskeys before we kick it off here. Really, why these 3 whiskeys pair so well with barbecue and maybe the different styles. So what's the first one here that you got?
Michter's American is a lighter American whiskey. It doesn't have crazy oak flavors. It has been, the reason why it's not a bourbon is because it's been aged in bourbon soaked barrels, so it's not aged in American oak. So it has a lot of softer flavors.
Okay.
It's still very well rounded. It still has the amazing long finish, but you want to pair that with something a little bit lighter. It's a lower proof, so you're not going to be wanting this as your brisket whiskey.
Rye.
This is bourbon. Well, sorry, it's not. It's a corn
American.
whiskey, so there's
Okay.
very little rye, if any, in there at all.
It's American.
It's American
whiskey.
whiskey.
Yeah,
Yes.
so we're be cooking up some seafood here.
I think this
for
would
our-
be a great one for seafood.
Yes.
That's why I did it.
If
Yeah,
we,
that's why you picked it, bro.
if there was anything that you could pair with seafood that was in the whiskey world, it would be something like this.
Cool.
We also talked about pork,
Chicken.
Yeah, something a little bit more leaner, right? Yeah, so it's not going to overpower. Okay.
Our
Yep.
smoked pork New Yorks.
Oh, yeah. Are they back here, chef?
Watch out, Sarah. Watch out.
Watch out. Coming in hot.
There they are.
Coming in hot.
Got a couple of those on there
Hot. Oh, yeah.
before we throw the burgers on
With this
later
guy?
today.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty good. Ooh, that's a good smell right there. What's the next one we got here? What is this middle whiskey?
So
right
the
here?
Jefferson's bourbon, this is a bourbon that has been thrown into barrels and then it's been sailed around the sea. So it's put on research vessels and then it goes out to sea. So the theory is that constant motion of the ocean
Whoa, Matthew McConaughey, huh?
creates a lot of whiskey to barrel. And so you get a lot of the barrel nuances, which is the majority of the flavor of whiskey. So you really want to have as much whiskey to barrel contact as possible.
Okay.
And this is a constant motion. So
Before she answered the question, my question was, are we going to get more salinity out of it, saline because of the salt air,
Absolutely.
blah, 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 blah.
So-
I loved it.
Yeah.
you 100% get saline in this. So for when I taste this ocean, I get so much salted caramel on
Okay.
there. There's so much of that on there. So it has a nice sweetness to it, but then you're still getting that salinity.
Let's talk about
from the ocean
minerality,
air.
right? Because in the past, when we've talked about higher minerally bloodish flavored meat, if you will,
Yep.
Terrace Major,
Harris, yeah. that's the one.
hanger, steak, all of those meats out there that are going to have that really hard, meaty minerality to them,
That's
bomb with that.
Because
right?
of the
the marriage is just right there, right? The
salinity?
the salinity, the saltiness of it. I think will be great.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Excellent.
I like it. So you're grilling up a Terrace Major. Grab some of that Jefferson's, 24th voyage?
This is the Voyage
24.
24,
Voyage 24.
and it is really, really delicious.
Beast mode.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, fair enough.
Heard.
Oh, what do we got here? What's our last one that we kind of featured in the podcast?
So out of the three, this is definitely the boldest. This is Sagamore Spirit Double Rye. It has a lot of those fennel and mint. I think I had equated it to like a spearmint toothpick. There's so much oak in it because there's two different aging processes on it, and the second one has a wave stave to the barrel, so you're really getting a lot of barrel notes on there. It is so oaky, but the rye notes bring in these mint and herbal notes and all of these.
Herbaceous. I got black licorice.
Yeah, he did get lots of black licorice.
Okay, yeah.
It's a really great one, and it's going to be your bold meats because it's a bold whiskey.
That's your big dog.
So what kind of big barbecue meats like you're talking about like
Beef ribs, brisket.
big slathered pork ribs? You think? Not so much.
Maybe not so much. I think you probably steer really hard towards the beef end on that one. And
Beef,
the long
like rich
cooks.
beef?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think you could do something even sweeter because, like those sweet barbecue notes, because it's so dry. I think it would actually pair well together.
Maybe a little sticky ribs then,
There
huh?
you go,
maybe
sticky
some
ribs.
beef burnt ends.
Burnt ends would be great. Pork
yeah.
cheeks would be great.
Pork
Something like
cheeks.
that.
Yeah,
The long
knock
cooks.
through the fat.
Yeah.
Also, not that we just do smoked meats here, we also sell plenty of steaks to take home. Wagyu, right? We're going fattier, more mouth
Ooh, I don't know about.
lusciousness.
I feel like that would
Overpower it.
overpower. This is your Wagyu whiskey
wanna go
right
light?
here. Yeah.
You thinking like super like A5 super rich? Is that what you're kind of thinking? To cut through
I
that
was just
richness, or-
thinking because I've had a really nice creaminess to the finish on that one, low
Okay.
mouth viscosity, which is also one of the things that we love so much about the fatty beef that we eat. It's just like not only is that flavored phenomenal, but you also have that
mouthfeel.
mouth silky creaminess, right? It's just
Yeah. We should talk about that beef mouthfeel.
it's yummy.
Oh dang, dude. Yeah, we don't get into that.
Yeah,
too much. That's
leaner,
cool.
leaner cuts from tenderloin all the way into, your super fatty marbled ribeye or a zabaton like that. The mouthfeel is completely different. Flavors are completely different. The nuance of all of those meats are different.
Yeah, that's cool.
And that's a lot of things that people don't like about some, because my wife doesn't like it's a little bit too fatty. Like, is it too fatty or is it rich? Or like, because a lot of times, people confuse richness with over salted or something like that because they generally lean towards a leaner cut of meat, right?
Oh yeah. My wife's always talking about that. I like the tenderloin because
Exactly.
it's very lean, but like,
Right.
what do you really mean? Like
You should blind taste her on, like, say, a Zab.
I
Go
should.
home with a little tenderloin and a Zab and maybe like a Bavette or even like a Wagyu Bavette.
Oh, don't get me going.
Evan's fave, the
Oh, I
Wagyu
love
Bavette.
that Wagyu Bavette so much. Okay.
You should do that. See,
Okay.
and just see,
I'll give you the
like,
feedback.
I'm interested to hear.
I'll Instagram live it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Excellent.
I'll look for it on TikTok.
Yes, please. So we tasted those with the podcast. We talked about these. What are some comparable ones to these to kind of go well with barbecue?
So on our lighter side, I think that Maker's Mark is going to be a great one. First of all, I think Maker's Mark is just like the overall, you can probably have that with any kind of barbecue. It's sweeter, it's lighter, it's got that wheat instead of rye, so it's softer. Super balanced bourbon. If you want something like this, you're going to lose a little bit of the salinity, but this is a bolder bourbon. It's got all of those darker toffee notes to it, so something like Russell's Reserve is going to be a great one, or Michter's bourbon.
What about Elijah Craig?
Elijah Craig would be a great
Fit
one.
right in there? I love
yeah.
that, yeah.
Yeah, Elijah Craig's a great one. This one is our boldest of the bunch. So if you want to stick with like a bold rye, I would say something like Whistle Pig would be a great one. Something a little bit out of the Kentucky range, because Kentucky tends to be a high corn rye, so they tend to be a little bit sweeter.
Knob Creek in that biz, right?
Knob Creek's a pretty low rye, but it's delicious, and it's higher proof. It's at that 100 proof, so it's also amazing
A
and
little hotter.
would go amazing with any of this kinds of meats.
And it's kind of cool talking about like how that, you talk about Kentucky and how that, the region really plays a specific,
Absolutely.
role in that. Just like barbecue, right? The different regions, what's available in that region versus what's not. How we utilize applewood up here because it's indigenous. How they use post oak down in Texas.
Well, and this is a Maryland, and Maryland's known for their rye. So this
that
is
crazy?
a Maryland rye whiskey, yeah.
Okay.
And also temperature is going to make a difference as far as aging and taste of whiskeys. So definitely where you're at in the United States is going to make a huge difference.
What about Tennessee whiskey?
Tennessee whiskey is essentially bourbon.
Yeah.
They go through a second process called the Lincoln County process. It's just a filtering process. So they generally meet all of the bourbon requirements, but then they go through that extra step. So Tennessee whiskey does tend to be a little bit softer.
Okay.
So then you're looking more at something like this, and so those lighter meats like pork and chicken and whatnot.
Tennessee whiskey.
God, I love that song, man.
Yeah.
All right, so what are we cooking up today? That's gonna, since Sarah's the honorary meat dude,
Being
we decided
that
not to throw some
Sarah's
steaks
our
on.
house vegetarian pescatarian, and we decided to do this meat-centric restaurant. And in the podcast, Evan, we kind of teased him a little bit because he asked if we could cook fish. We're like, what are you talking about? No, you can't. But
You can't pair fish with bourbon? That's what
Yeah.
you're saying?
well, we're gonna. So
Heck yeah, you can.
Because-
That's why I asked, bro.
And I did pick 2 fish pairing bourbons for you here.
Fish pairing
So,
bourbons.
with the fish pairing, if you're thinking about a white fish, a less oily fish, or shrimp, or something that's going to be a little bit less fatty, oily, I'm getting a little more aggressive on the rub,
Okay.
right? So I'm going to use the rub to enhance the flavor of the fish a little bit, kind of elevate it to marry well with how strong the whiskey is,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So we're going to use, we would be leaning towards something on the lighter, more user-friendly side when we're talking about fish, where this would just destroy a piece of fish, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Unless it was like
100%.
crazy hard smoked, like salmon,
Yeah,
or
smoked
something like
salmon.
Yeah.
candied
Smoked salmon, would
salmon
probably do
kind
well.
of shit, right? Would be, you could probably do that, right?
Oh, for sure. I think you could, especially since salmon and fennel and those
all
flavors
that.
go so well together.
And in that cure, when you're doing salmon, I generally always use fennel
Yeah.
in my
Okay.
cure. So, and you could use a little shot of that whiskey too in your cure. It would come out in
Oh,
the
that's
fish.
kind of cool too. Yeah.
Fish itself.
My wife does margarita shrimp, so she'll use a little tequila with her marinade and everything like
I don't
that.
like tequila very much.
Dude, I know this guy, bro.
Tats.
Bro,
Tats,
Cinco
yeah.
de Mayo tomorrow too. Ayo.
Whatever.
But
So
we're talking about
yeah.
whiskey, all right? Come on. What do we got going on here? So, Sarah has blind. So she's a world whiskey taster, right?
Wow.
We're on that. We're on that track.
On the road.
On the road to be a world whiskey taster. And honestly, an amazing whiskey connoisseur and taster. And she's going to give us a little lesson on how to taste. And we're going to go and pick some flavors and maybe talk about what we think would pair well with these meat-wise. Okay?
Okay, so I chose 2 whiskeys. One I chose that I think you would really like, and one that I think you would really like. So I'm interested to see if you actually pick those ones that I chose for you. They're both relatively lighter, so they'll go well with the shrimp.
Okay.
And then we're going to go in and sort of go through what I do when I'm tasting whiskeys. So first one's first, right? I give it a little swirl job. I got that.
Hey now. Why do you give it a swirl? Just because?
Yeah, I mean, some people
Open it
say
up.
that it's
Looks cool.
unnecessary and that it just looks cool, but I get a lot more flavors out of them when I give it a little swirly job. Are you using your dominant nostril?
I have dominant nose hole.
Dominant nose
Right,
hole.
and that's not left or right. It's
Wow, bro.
both of mine. Yeah, I get it from my mom. She has a super sniffer.
So does mine. Oh,
I'm
dog, so
I'm
does
picking
mine.
up apple.
Okay.
Dude, are you?
Yeah,
See, I'm not.
like Honeycrisp apple.
I get lots of honey.
I was gonna say honey, like a sweet honey.
Super honey. There's a little bit of greenness to it though, so I think you get a lot of apple in that.
fruit.
And I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm a super sniffer or anything.
But
Not-
are you using your dominant nose
I
hole?
am. I think it is. I think it's my right. Okay, now. What's
Okay,
next?
so when you taste, I taste with my mouth open. Is that way you're still getting some of the vapors going in. I also smell with my mouth open, right? So breathing in while you taste.
Isn't some stats like 90% of your taste comes from smell? Something like that. Ooh, that's warm. Warm my belly, of course. It's probably because it's empty.
Not too.
I do get more of the apple. On the palate itself.
Yep.
So
I get that. I get like that wood.
if it's got a good finish, it lingers and the flavor changes while it sits on your tongue. So this one doesn't
there we
have
go.
like a crazy long
Toasty.
finish, but it's still there, and I'm tasting different things as it sits on my tongue.
Okay. What else are you tasting?
Toast.
Toast.
Like actual
Like-
bread.
Like bread?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
Bread.
probably some breadiness on there.
Yeah.
I get wood though. I
I get a lot of wood.
I get a lot of wood there. There's still honey notes on there. I'm not getting those dark flavors that we got off of the Jefferson. So like I don't taste a lot of that toffee and cherry.
No.
I'm getting more of
Not a
those
lot of
vanilla sort of.
Oh, yeah.
There are some
good.
alcohol notes on there, some acetone, but that's also going to help with the finish.
It's pretty light too.
It's very light.
Yeah. You can tell by the color, obviously, but that it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't hit you like these two would.
Yeah, this is why I think it would be great for fish.
Yeah,
and
very
I
light.
need some
Yeah.
soda water.
Our
Right.
soda water's over there.
Bro,
Oh!
Really? Really?
I got you, dude.
Really?
I knew you'd need some.
Here, what?
Little baby bird it. Love it.
Baby bird it.
Nice.
Touch that.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, guys.
Cleanse that palate.
Also, can you explain real quick? People do actually sip soda water or add soda water sometimes to taste bourbons and whiskeys.
Maybe a few drops of water.
Just
I would
dashes,
never do it
right?
in this, ever. It's too low proof for one.
Yep.
It's too light.
Talking about the big dogs.
Yeah.
Those
That personally,
high
me,
proofs.
that's the only ones that I would ever add any kind of
A
water
cube.
to. Maybe. A lot of the times, if I feel like it, I'll put a cube in there, get it to the dilution that I want, and then I pull the cube out.
Sure.
And is there different styles? You see, like Scotch, she's supposed to open it up more with water. Does that matter? Does that have any effect on it?
I think you do you. You should
Okay.
taste it before and after.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't think adding water to this would actually. I think it would be
Yeah.
go the opposite
Yeah,
end
yeah.
of opening it up. I think.
It would dilute.
It would
it's
dilute it
soft
too
as
much.
it is already,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
It's like Evan seeing a squirrel.
Bro,
Or
you
a
see
lion.
the crow when this guy came into he saw the crow.
Hey!
Man, he jumped so high. I've never seen him so white.
Did you ever
Dude, it was
talk about the
insane.
time that I got bit by a rat? Or
We did.
Lions and tigers and rats.
We don't
Nice.
know.
we'll talk about that. Okay, next one. As you can tell by the color, it's darker, so that could mean a couple of things. It could mean proof. It could mean age. Could be double barrel.
I was just gonna say double.
Could be double
I was
barrel.
paying attention.
Is your dominant nose hole?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's my left.
It smells like a higher proof. Does it because of? I don't know. I smell more.
You're
alcohol.
You're just
in it.
smelling stuff, probably. So the higher proof, you're going to get more flavors.
Okay.
That's what proof
I
is.
just got a waft of the smoker.
I know.
too.
So that we are in an unfortunate space to be.
This is like Tiger
Doing it,
Woods
but-
training, though, right?
right.
You know, like, it's just, or like Beyonce putting her on the treadmill and making her sing. You know, just go, 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 go. That's why she's so great live, right?
Good lord.
Hey, man, a little fun fact, there,
Yeah.
bro.
Okay.
A little fun fact.
Yeah.
That's why we have an
I
homage to
understand
Beyonce. In
I
there.
understand the how come there's not a Tiger Woods on the wall?
Bro, because
My
you
guy.
haven't brought one in.
My get done.
Yeah,
Done.
done,
Okay.
bro.
Okay. Anyway,
Pull it
moving
together.
on.
Okay, so we're tasting this one, mouth open.
I do a little mouth open, mouth closed. Mouth open, mouth closed.
I know who you chose that for,
Yeah,
but I actually like it better.
I like this one.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
That one's got some saline to it, minerality.
So it's minerally. This also has a lot more of the caramel and toffee
Yeah,
notes
I get
and
that
lots
late.
of vanilla.
Yeah.
It's finishing almost like a leathery kind of.
Wow.
Cedarish.
Yeah, there is
Oh.
some cedar on there.
Actually, yeah. And it, yeah, it lasts. It's warmer, a little bit warmer,
It's definitely warmer.
Tobacco.
but not too crazy. No, not too hot. That's good.
It's
Funny that
delicious.
you chose that one for Evan, but I like it better.
I did choose that one for Evan.
Yep.
I chose
Yep.
this one for Tyler.
The little light guy for Tyler.
Baby bourbon.
Tenderloin. it's
It's a tenderloin.
the tenderloin of whiskeys.
They're
Right?
all going up here.
I know, man. That's good stuff, though.
Cool.
So, do you want to unveil what these were?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Go grab
Let me
them.
You go grab it here. Oh, wow.
This is the baby bourbon.
Okay. Which
So-
one is this?
This is the Henry McKenna.
Okay.
I find this, I mean, this is definitely not my favorite whiskey. I like much bolder whiskeys, but they do have a 10-year, which I think is phenomenal.
That's Sarah's mowing the lawn whiskey.
Yeah, exactly. That's a, what do you call that?
That's your Coors Light right
right
there.
here? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's,
Yard beer.
Dude.
that's lawnmower beer, or
Elijah
lawnmower whiskey.
I like
And
that.
then this is a toasted barrel. So we're talking about double barrel. This has been finished in toasted wood. So basically, toasted wood means that rather than the American oak, you'll see that they char the inside, and they usually do that with fire, straight fire.
Did I not say
Straight fire.
toasted? Did I not say that?
And the toasted basically is like putting it into a toaster. So it's like super high heat, and it caramelizes the wood essentially. So you get those vanilla notes and all of
Not
those really
charred wood.
right. So it starts in charred wood because bourbon
Have to.
has to be in charred wood. But
I dig that a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is good. I love Elijah Craig.
I do too. I think they're great.
Yeah. I mean, it won Whiskey of the Year, right? A couple years ago, didn't it?
Elijah Craig. Mm-hmm. Sure.
We'll cut
From
that.
Whoa.
I don't, no, I swear it did. Or maybe you just got a, who knows? Maybe it was like
Shout out.
some dude.
Probably saw
Just
that on
said-
TikTok.
Yeah, I probably saw it. One of those kids on TikTok. Man,
Yeah,
goddamn.
it's good.
It is delightful.
That's really great.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about, cooking fish. Oh, actually, let's go back to these. What would be a great pairing with this whiskey, you think, Chef?
Well, again, like we said before, on the lighter notes, it's the consistency of pairing food to beverage is always the same. It's a little bit different for me personally when I'm doing whiskeys, because when I taste a wine, I'm going to taste something that I get really predominant here, and I'm going to alter it, either try to marry the flavor of the food directly so it's seamless,
Okay.
or I'm going to go completely opposite of that, so you have
Yeah.
this kind of blend of like, whoa,
Comparing.
right?
Yeah.
Because you can do that with wine. As more I do this, I think marrying the flavors that you taste in bourbons and whiskeys with that flavor you're trying to put into that meat to have more seamless adventure there.
Okay.
So this is definitely a smoky pork, something light, or chicken kind of idea.
Yeah.
Or blackened almost shrimp that we're gonna do for you.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Maybe
That'd be
we'll
good.
just keep this guy here and taste it as we
I
Yeah.
think that might not
snack on
be a
these
bad idea.
scrimpies.
What about the toasted barrel?
The
Elijah
toasted,
Craig.
I mean, that kind of tells you right there. Like, I was like,
Woody.
my background is predominantly Italian cooking,
Mm-hmm.
so I think like a really nice panzanella salad with some sort of like smoky note to it, like smoked tomatoes or something.
Dang.
You got this
Okay.
toasted
Shit,
crouton,
All right.
maybe a spicy green or something that would kind of blend with that, a little bit more herbaceousness that you
Okay.
pick up on, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just way off the grid of barbecue, but I mean, you could do like
It's like
sticky, ribby kind of thing.
Yeah,
You
it's-
think a little bit more sweeter, tangy
I'd say
barbecue kind of
sweeter.
shit.
Yeah,
That'd
the
be
sweeter
good.
barbecue. Like
Right.
those ribs, those barbecue ribs right there.
The last smoked porchetta I did quite a bit more
Porchetta would
brown
be-
sugar on the
Okay.
outer rub, because I wanted to get that when I was trimming the strings.
Yeah.
It was actually gooey.
Yeah,
like-
I got video
like
of that.
sugary
Yeah.
goop coming off of the strings, and I was like,
there is a lot
this
of
is
brown
gonna
sugar.
be fucking delicious.
Okay.
So that would be really, really good.
Because most of those barbecue ribs are going to have a lot of that sugar in
And
there.
you think about it, porchetta and what that is. That what our style of what we do is pork belly, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna get that not crazy fatty sausage in the middle that we cook all the way. So you're gonna get a little bit more harder textured mouthfeel there, but the fattiness of the pork belly is going to coat your tongue in a way that this would be
Mouthfeel.
just so good. Like
Oh, yeah.
break right through that fattiness. And
Porchetta.
the marriage would be
Porchetta would be really good. I
That
feel
would
like.
be really good with this, yeah.
I'm imagining
Cut.
what that would be like.
done.
That's a wrap. Damn, dude. Yeah, there you
But I
killed
mean,
it.
you could even do like pulled pork, straight up, like just
Ooh, yeah,
a really
yeah.
good
Nice
rubbed,
tangy
slow
barbecue pulled
smoked
pork.
pulled pork, and like
Yeah.
you know maybe like a copa cut,
Okay.
right?
I
And then think about other ways that you can think about meat. It doesn't always have to be hot, right?
Okay.
Cold smoked salmon, boom, over here.
yeah.
You know, if you got like cold cuts, right? We do leftover smoked pork New Yorks from the day before, shave it super thin, have sort of like an antipasti kind of idea going on with just like a really light smoked meat or flavor.
Okay.
I think sipping a nice, thinner, lighter bodied whiskey would be really good with like cold cuts and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that would be good.
Salamis,
Yeah.
you
Totally.
know.
Cool, dude. I like it.
Yeah.
Well, should we get on to cooking some of this this shrimp?
Throw some shrimp on the barbie.
Oh,
Huh?
God.
Stop. Stop.
Just done.
Yeah.
No.
Stop.
All right, so gogi guru, right? It's gonna have a little cumin on there, chili. You can almost already like just smell that.
Oh, yeah.
And just think that smell, and think about what we just tasted.
Is there sugar in that?
There
in the
is.
gogi?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
There you
that's
go.
good.
We're gonna grill some shrimps.
Dude, that smells good.
Yeah.
Dude, we've been killing it with that gogi, man. Like for real, dude.
So if Sarah was eating meat, I would say the same rub that we've been doing on like a pork chop or something on the grill
Yep.
would be fucking dope.
did that last
with
time.
it. Oh, so good. Really good. Yep.
Yeah.
It's my new favorite grilling spice.
Yeah.
I'm a big cumin fan though. I love cumin.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially on fish, but yeah.
So good.
yeah, I put cumin on everything.
Yeah, the restaurant that I just went to had a lot of cumin.
Oh.
Cumin on the wings, bro. You heard that story.
Little much.
Woo! My whole
There's-
mouth
You
was
you
like
couldn't even eat yesterday.
bubbling. Yeah.
Can
Yeah.
you overdo it with spicing or trying to do something with whiskey?
Oh God, yeah.
Right?
I've had
So, like,
many.
Really?
And is that just because the maker doesn't? They're just trying to go crazy, trying to overimpress, like something.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like
Okay.
thinking of a young cook that doesn't really know how to use the right amount of garlic yet. You know?
Yeah.
It's like
Gotta
I
make
did
this.
it as a
Yeah.
kid. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna make Alfredo. Oh, this garlic,
Well,
like garlic
I mean,
salt, like for
I
days,
think
right?
that
Like,
people try to be different a lot of the times too. So like I've had quinoa whiskey. Ugh,
ugh.
Quinoa
awful.
whiskey
quinoa whiskey.
for the health nuts, huh?
Awful.
Wow.
I'm
Terrible.
not saying you can't make good whiskey out of quinoa, but so far nobody's been able to do it, on, as far as I'm concerned.
So if you have, please send it to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
We'd love to. We'd love to taste it.
I once was in Italy for the largest cheese festival in the world, and they had a stand of Tibetan monk yak cheese.
Okay.
There was not a line. There was not a line waiting to try that cheese.
Yak
Like, I don't
Wow.
think
Did
that's
you
some-
try it?
Yeah, it was
come
gross,
on.
dude. I was like,
Okay.
I don't know.
uh, I passed that one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
Cheese.
Yak cheese, not good.
So how long does it take to cook these shrimps?
Well, I like my seafood pretty medium. I really like to have.
Even shrimp.
I do. I like a little
Yeah.
translucentness to the middle where it freaks a lot of people out.
Speaking of mothers, my mother would not eat that
She would not.
unless
all.
it's well done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that
So
Shrimp.
well done.
seafood
Shrimp
in general
leather.
or all meat?
Seafood.
Seafood.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
so she's not.
She
a sushi
generally would
eater.
not
No.
eat a pork
no.
chop at 140 either.
No way. We don't tell
Right?
her. We don't tell her.
No,
we
we
cook it to 140 and then we just say, yeah, it's 165, Mom. And she's fine. She's fine. It's okay.
She survived.
She's survived.
Oh, baby.
Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Getting some grill
You
marks
can see
on there.
the translucentness right in the middle section right there.
I'm gonna eat the shit out of that
There
shit.
you are.
I know, bro.
There you
Seriously.
are.
I haven't eaten anything yet. We've tasted so much whiskey today. Dude. Smell that gogi.
Oh,
smell
dude.
that char. Yeah, it's gonna go
Yeah.
good
Huh?
with that McKenna.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I may pour some of that Michter's American.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh,
you notice
sorry.
the flavor or the nose change?
Totally different,
Oh.
right?
Because of the environment, because of the different flavors.
Actually, I think it's probably more of it just opening up a little bit.
Oh,
Like
okay.
there's so much more fruit in it for me. I mean, it's all subjective.
It's the fruit for me.
It's the
Plus,
we know.
we've manipulated the smells with the spice.
We most 100% have manipulated the smells, but
All goes back to the training. That hard training.
Tiger Woods.
we are in Olympic training
yeah.
right now with this whiskey.
Yeah. So
But also, like, your palate changes throughout the
You're right.
day as well.
It tastes all different too.
Yep, totally taste it.
So what is some of the training, to be a world whiskey taster? What do you have to do? I know there's competitions and things like that. So what happens at those competitions? They just blind you on this, kind of like
It's all
the Psalm.
It's all about
ones?
blinding.
Same thing.
That's why I blind all the time. It's
Yeah.
all about blinding. You pick up things when you when you blind
Yeah.
taste anything that you would normally not. You're not influenced by anything, so you're going in completely blind. That's why they call it that.
And
Yeah.
how many do you taste in doing things like that?
On the competitions, a lot.
How do you? I mean, do you
Yeah.
have a time limit on that? Because that's like your palate's got to get beat up.
Yeah,
right?
your palate will definitely get fatigued. I think they definitely probably take that into account. You've got lots of palate cleansers throughout it.
Do they?
Not drinking it all, spitting is obviously
Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
a huge
Then you,
part of
then
it.
you just
'cause-
hand it to Charlie and he gets rug burns on his elbows.
Right.
So do you blind in glasses like this, or they cover it up so you can't even see the color, or what?
Oh
You wanna
no,
see the color?
they'll blind you in glasses like this. In fact, because color can mean a lot of things, but
Yeah.
so yeah, and sometimes the lack of color, because it's not just bourbons. Lighter whiskeys can sometimes, if it's a Scotch,
Oh,
could
yeah?
be aged for 30 years. They're
Yeah,
in
and have a
second
lot of
age
characteristics,
barrels.
right?
Yep, exactly. So
Okay.
the color of it doesn't necessarily actually tip you off completely to
Okay.
what's in the glass itself.
And then you have to pick like the proof and.
You have to get pretty close to the proof. You have to pick what kind of whiskey it is. Is
Yeah.
it a bourbon? Is it a rye? Is it a Scotch? Is it is it Japanese whiskey? Irish whiskey?
You're trusting my shrimp doneness?
I don't trust you for anything, but I'll give it a go.
Says my business partner.
Wow.
That's hot. Oh, that's hot.
Now, chef hands, baby.
Huh?
Woo,
Right.
Ooh, that
steaming.
looks good. Something new.
Thank you, Weber, my little baby Q200.
Okay.
Take
Precious.
it everywhere.
It's
Take it camping.
precious.
Take it everywhere. Take it to the beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, those look good. Now we was talking about letting your meat rest.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter for seafood, right?
Not really,
It's gonna be
especially
hot.
shrimp, but they're just gonna be warm, right?
Yeah. Warm.
Warmish.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Gosh, Sarah is so ready, but they look
I'm-
hot right now. I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
look good.
Whatever, dude.
Ooh.
That's
Okay.
fucking delightful.
All right, let's go.
So. Okay.
Delicious.
And we're gonna taste it with the McKenna, and then I'm
Honestly,
gonna taste it with the Elijah Craig
I
too,
think
just to
you
kind of
could,
see.
dude. I really do, because of the char
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my
on
gosh.
there, that light char, and the
Oh,
definitely
that's
a
bold.
little bit of
Just,
spice.
yeah.
So again, like manipulating the flavor of your meat, especially when you're talking
I need
about
another one.
fish or a pork tenderloin or even a beef tenderloin or
Well-
anything like that. You can rub flavored into your meat to where we got to get burgers on.
Oh,
Okay.
well,
Um,
we're getting there.
Now,
The
just
best there.
taste the whiskey and see how different it tastes now that
Okay.
you've had.
I'm going to the Elijah Craig.
Me too.
I went light. Oh yeah.
I can't smell anything anymore, but
I don't even know if this one really holds up.
yeah,
'Cause
it's
like
almost
there's so
too
much.
light.
Yeah, it's so spicy.
And there's so much pepper and stuff in there.
They're like
that-
almost like a berry flavor almost there.
Yeah.
Like
It takes
blueberry or something.
It
Something like-
takes the heat down a bit on
Like
the
a triple
whiskey.
berry.
fucking fruit snacks over here.
Wow.
I'm tasting red.
Have another.
There you go.
All right. Well,
Here's to the pescatarians.
yeah, that's good stuff, man. All
Mm.
right,
That was good.
let's get these burgers on for the meat eaters. All right.
Time, let's
Well-
go.
And my veggie burger.
Oh yeah.